Then I think we can start. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. I will go through a short introduction in the beginning of who we are, and then Lucas from Avisi Apps will show the Tracket solution in a demo a bit later. We will also have a Q&A at the end, so please ask questions in the Q&A section. You can find that if you can see at the slide down to the right in the red box there. So you can ask question if you have some throughout the whole webinar, and we will go through those at the end. So who are we? My name is Oddrun. I work as an account manager in Computas. I am managing Monday.com's customers here, making sure both new and existing customers are satisfied and have what they need. I am a part of a team where we also have a lot of competence with digital processes. I will go through that a bit later. But we have a guest with us today, Lucas from Avisi Apps. Can you please tell something about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for introducing me here. I am Lucas van Paridon. That's a Dutch name. We're in the Netherlands, and I'm with Avisi Apps. We're a marketplace app vendor for Monday.com, and we develop specifically apps that fill the gaps that sometimes you may encounter. And as we'll find out in this webinar, we'll talk a lot about time tracking as one of the gaps that we kind of filled with an app. And I do sales and onboarding with a lot of customers, as well as collaborations with partners like Oddrun here and the whole Computas team. And I'm very happy to be here with you to share you more about how you can give your time tracking a boost and achieve some amazing benefits with it.
Perfect. We are so happy that you are joining us today, Lucas. Then we can start telling a bit about Computas and who we are. Computas was established in Norway in 1985. We are approximately 350 employees with offices in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Romania. Computas is a Nordic provider of IT solutions and consultancy services in the technological innovation. And we are working both in the private and the public sector. And the team I was mentioning a bit earlier are called Digital Work Design, and that is the team I am a part of. We are helping organizations utilize IT solutions to collaborate, communicate, and manage information in the most efficient way. So that is short what we are doing. But today's topic, while we are working closely with our customers, we have been seeing some challenges that our customers are facing. Some of these are the ones you are seeing on the screen right now, that they are have wasted resources and lost revenue. Lucas, can you please tell more about this and take the lead?
Yes, absolutely. So what we see here is some common problems when it comes to invoicing and billing. And first of all, invoicing and billing can be done in multiple ways and also across multiple industries. So it applies to any organization that really needs to track time on an hourly basis and then bill their clients based on that time. So sometimes clients are wondering like, hey, how did these hours that you're billing me, how did they came about? And the first thing we see here is that trust gaps is one of the common problems. It's because the client isn't really sure, like, is the time actually being spent efficiently? And with time tracking, that can be solved. And we'll talk about that later. Secondly, we have wasted resources. You can imagine that if you have a big team to manage and everyone's working, it would be very helpful to know how much time each person is spending and how much time each person is able to spend. As well as if you're managing multiple projects, you need to allocate your resources properly. And if you don't do time tracking, well, wasted resources are possible to happen. And then finally, we got lost revenue, which is really where it all comes down to. And also, the reason why sometimes revenue is being lost when it comes to invoicing and billing is because, believe it or not, the incorrect hours are being billed. So some clients are being undercharged, and the company is doing more work for them than they actually charge for. So that's also one of the big issues with invoicing and billing. Let's see. We can move on to the next slide here. I'll take it over from here, and then we can dive into how we fix this with time tracking.
Perfect. Then I will stop my sharing and you can take the lead.
Great stuff. So how do we fix this? Well, with time tracking. I was already getting excited, so I already shared a little bits how to do that. And that is, first of all, with time tracking, you can be accurate in the amount of hours that you're billing to your clients. Next to that, you also will gain insights based on the project progress and how your resources are being allocated and divided between team members. Third, we have a transparent way of working with time tracking. So you can actually get a complete breakdown of what your time is doing and give that to your client, and also for inner conversation. And then finally, that all leads to bigger efficiency and saving errors, as well as identifying time wasters and learning where you can be more efficient and spending your time more wisely. All right, now where comes Tracket in? So this is the app that we built in Monday.com. The good thing here is that Tracket is completely integrated in the Monday.com environment. That means it works seamlessly well with it. The same information you already have in place is also able to be accessible in Tracket. That's one of the key takeaways in Monday.com in general, because it's really a tool where you bring everything together. So this is also great to have your time tracking in that system. Then we have an intuitive interface. You'll see this on the live demo, that we did our best to make this as user-friendly as possible to really encourage people to use the tool and log the hours, because sometimes time tracking is not the most fun thing to do, and yet we try to make it a bit entertaining in some way too, and it's still like keep it professional. Then there's extensive reporting. We'll talk extensively on that one during this webinar, because this is really where it all comes down to. And then finally, there are some options to do approvals, which allow you accurate time entries to have the hours checked, and some customization based on your organization. So that's a whole lot. It's a complete time tracking tool overall, and I will break it down for you in bits and pieces, so you get a good understanding of how this could help you in your organization. Three more things I like to highlight here is when it comes to billing, because it's really the specific thing we're talking about here. It is possible to distinguish between billable and non-billable hours. That means you can have two sets of hours and see the difference. As you can see right here, you can see total hours are 22 and 30 hours on a particular item, but then the billable ones are less. So this already shows us how much work we're actually doing and how much we can bill to our clients. Also, we can see create and extract extensive reports and see exactly how much the client needs to pay you. What is more is that we can connect this with your billing software. So maybe you're using a separate tool that you use for invoicing. There's an API available that you can connect, and then do the actual billing in the other tool right there, and get your clients the right invoice. Then we have managing your project resources better with the tool. This is my final sheet, and then we're moving into the live demo. This is really about building reports and getting your teams the right insights, as well as visualizing project time allocation with Tracket widgets. That is awesome, because with widgets, you can get really a visual feel of how much time is being spent. So without further ado, let's dive into the live demo. I'll do a quick run through, and if anything comes up that you'd like to spend more time on, just put a question in the Q&A and we'll pick it up from there. Sweet. Oh, that went efficient with the switch over to the live demo. That's a win. Okay, let's see. We got the Tracket application open right here. For all of you watching, we can have you can have a free trial if you go to the Monday Marketplace and you search for Tracket. This is where you can see that we're also editor's choice. And once you open this up, you can install it right here. There's a little video explaining more about it. And really, I will do all the explanation on this webinar, so you know exactly what to do when you've installed this. So once you start using the app, we can add Tracket centrally to a board like here. Go to apps and then add it to your boards. That will give you this view right there. And this is accessible to everyone with permission. And also it will be unique to each person visiting this part based on their own hours. We can see our personal timesheet. And if I am a team manager or project manager, I can get the more extensive permission to also see the team section. Here I can manage my team's hours, have them checked, and so on. Then in reports, this is like a reporting tool. I'll cover that a little later once we made some time entries, because we need to have those first before we can see any time entries right here. And then admin covers some customization and setup. So let's start with the basic thing that you need when you want to do something with time tracking is first you have to do some work and then track your time. So back to the timesheet. We can see this week I've already worked 16 hours of my 32 and 15 hours of me are billable. Well, my manager is pretty happy with that because that means 15 of my hours are going to be billed to the client, and that's some efficient work. Also, I can see exactly where my time is going right here in the timesheet. Let me break it down for you. We see a cubed campaign board together with the item campaign planning. The same board we see right here in our Monday environment, cubed campaign, and within that board, there's an item campaign planning. So maybe we did some work there. Then we can log our hours like so, quickly. Or if we want to have more extensive information, we can also open it up. And then we have this, you can see the board is selected, and then the item is campaign planning. Really great here is that we can see exactly also the groups. So we can see what's exactly on the board and then select an item from there. Then we move on to some extra fields about the time entry. And to make this even easier is Tracket works with smart suggestions. So let's say I make this time entry right here with the selected category of online marketing, which is where I did the work for. And I worked 2 hours, 2 of those are billable. Then let's see, we can save the hours. So I just made it 3. We save the changes. Okay, we see 3 hours worked right there. If we do this then again on another day, so maybe we also did this time on today, Wednesday. We go to the same board, cubed campaign, same item, campaign planning. You see what happened there? It auto-fills the fields for you. So you don't have to go through the whole process each time you make the time entry, because the app learns from your time entries you've made, and then it makes time entries easy, yet you can capture all the needed information for useful insights and learning about those. All right. Now, mind you, one side note here, Maybe this doesn't apply to your organization, these fields we see right there. So industry or business line, maybe you don't really want to report on that. Don't worry, you can delete those or replace them for any fields that do relate to your organization. Okay, so this is how we go about making time entries from the timesheet itself. One key takeaway is that if you work on a project for multiple weeks or a longer period of time, we can pin the combinations that we work on, like so, and that means they'll show up automatically each time in our time sheet. So you can see this timesheet is completely blank, yet all the combinations that I usually work on are showing up. So that makes time entries very easy in the future. Okay, let's see. One more thing about making time entries is that we can go to the board itself from here. And this will illustrate perfectly how this works. So now we're in the cubed campaign board and we see the same item. We can open it up from here as well. Same template and also the same principle of logging time. And this is where we get a breakdown of the total time spent for this particular task. One thing you may notice is that this number correlates directly with the actual hours in the column. So that means this syncs, and it actually makes it easy to see how you're performing on this task. And you can also compare that with your planned effort, for example. Also, we see billable hours right there, so we can see the difference and a breakdown of who is working right here on this task. There's Mitchell. I was like the main contributor to this task, but he also did some development there. I very much rely on development sometimes, so great that he was able to do that for me. And that all that time is captured right here. One more thing. So if you also want the column for billable hours, for example, which would make sense in this in the topic that we're talking about, just create a numbers column like so. Name it billable hours. And then you can go to integrate, search for Tracket integrations. So these are extra features of Tracket you can use to enhance your Monday boards and automate that flow to show the billable hours in a column we just created. So just wanted to highlight this because it's very useful if you want to get a quick overview. And as we configure this, we can select here billable time as well. Push it in hours to the billable hours column we just created. So this is live now. And I just want to give you one example. So maybe we did another couple hours of work here. I'm not in development, actually, online marketing. So 2 hours, billable time, create time entry. Billable time jumped up to 1:54, and you can see the same hours right there. So hey, we can do some comparisons. We can drag this around. Hey, this doesn't look too bad, really, compared to the planned effort. But hey, that's only on the client side. So it is concerning because I spent 234 hours total and only 154 are going to be billed. We planned 46. So this means we need to get to the client and say, hey, we're doing some more work here. Let's have a conversation. Okay, so we covered about making time entries and doing a little bit of the reporting on the board level. What I like to do here with you is take it up a level higher. So see how can we see the billable time spent over all our projects and over all our people on our team. And I've already mentioned this in the intro, is that widgets can be very useful in this situation. So this is a dashboard. You can add it to anywhere. And I've configured some for you beforehand. So we can identify these widgets that they're from Tracket with the icon there. And this tells us, for example, how much billable time do we spend per project this quarter so far. And once we hover over that, we can see, hey, we spent 313 hours on the project Nova launch, Nova product launch, and 204 hours on the Cube campaign project. And maybe we want to also see where that time is going. So not only the total hours, but also a breakdown. Here we have all the configuration available. So when you're on your trial, highly recommend to have a look here yourself and see all the things you can come up with to get the reports that would be useful for your organization. And we can go to this part and then configure the group by setting. So here we can group by items. Well, okay, a lot more extensive reporting now. We can see exactly each item on each project and how much time is going there. All right, 93 hours on social media marketing there. That's a big investment. And we can also make it stacked, so you can also get a good combination of both total hours and the breakdown. So the total is 313, and then again, we see how that has been spent. Okay, let's save that for now. And one more thing here is we can also filter specific projects out. So you could filter out only to display one project. If we want to see more on how our team is performing, we can also do total time per person in this quarter, for example. I'm definitely outperforming my whole team here, and not necessarily a good thing. I mean, this tells also something about how are you managing your resources and your capacity. So this should be a lot better distributed across the team. Well, things like this you can think about. Also, we got billable hours per person over a full year. And again, you can do a blank one. You can just create it however you'd like. If you need to export this information to somewhere else, just do that from here. Export, and then select what you want to export. Okay, let's see. How are we on time? We are 9:25. I can spend a little more time on the auto reporting tool. Finish up with some settings that I think would be very useful, and then we'll just move over to Q&A, see how this is being received by you all. Okay, so we have the timesheet again right here. If we want these hours to be checked, we can submit the timesheet. That is an optional thing, so you can work with approvals. If you don't want that, then you can turn that off. Let's say this week is complete, so we fill out the hours. We did a perfect week, 32 hours of my 32. And you can also change that to 40 or any hours you work. If I submit this to my approver, let's say I'm my own manager, I can do Lucas here. Look, the confetti and such. Like these are like little pieces we added to this application to make it a bit exciting. So you're excited to finish up your week. We submit it. We got our team right here. And then we can see Lucas submitted his timesheet, 32 hours. That looks good. 31 are billable. And then we can review it as a manager. We can see, okay, the same thing, what has been happening here. Maybe we want to see 8 hours there. Whoa, this is a big day. 13 hours worked on Wednesday. Let's see, what was this 8 hours about? Lucas has done work in development. Well, that's not that common. So maybe this was a mistake. It could be. So let's reject it. Say, hey, Lucas, please check the hours on Wednesday again on development. and adjust. Okay, so now I get notified, hey, need to make some changes there, and I can definitely do that. Since I'm also this person, I have direct access to the timesheet. I can make the changes. Maybe he was right. That wasn't in development. There was some online marketing work instead, and it wasn't 8, but it was 4 hours. Okay, then I can submit it again to the same approver. We got another celebration, and this is now finalized. So it's approved, or now I'm gonna approve it. This time it looks fine. I'm approve it. Done. So this is logged. That also ensures that changes can't be made to your past hours. So really, when you're not running into issues with clients about invoicing and billing, because these hours are remaining fixed unless the manager decides to reopen it. All right, so that's approvals in a nutshell. Also, we can do some reporting from here once the hours are complete and accurate. We can do a report on any period of time. Maybe we want to see how we're doing this month, and I want to see how much each person is doing on each task. Then I create a report like so, and we see each week together with the total hours each person is working. So Bas, he's working 11 hours, 3 hours there, 8 hours there, and this is what he worked on. Me personally, I work these hours, 102, and I spend that on these tasks. So just another way of reporting, a bit more linear in a table-like view. Some people like this better. Some people prefer the visual approach with widgets. You can use both and export it from here as well. All right, so great. Hope this is all very making sense, and that it gives you a little inspiration to do something with this. Finally, some final touches to really put the cherry on the cake. Is that an English saying? I hope so. But then we can do the admin configuration right here. So on the template, we can configure everything that we need. Maybe industry, we want to edit that custom field, and instead of industries, we want to capture, oh, like here, different service levels, all right? Service levels. Maybe you have different service levels for your client. You want to see how are we doing on each of those. Since we're here with an audience, pretty big audience, yeah, anything that applies to you, you can do here. There's also category configuration. We can do standard categories as billable right here. So this is also a good thing to know. Then every time you log on that category, it will prompt you to fill out the billable hours. Maybe you also have some general tasks that are not always billable. We can just leave that out then. And then those hours will be non-billable. Or do a category called non-billable. That's very straightforward. And then, let's see. I think this is the most important bits. There are some extra features, like you'll figure this out. Once you get here, go to admin, people management. You can all do all that right here. So manage capacities, manage holiday schedules. It works globally. So Boss, he's working from New Zealand. He has his public holidays from New Zealand showing up in the timesheet. And Mitchell, he's in Hong Kong. Okay, that will be different holidays there. And we can all add those holiday schedules from work schedules, holiday schedules. Oh, that was quick. So different ones. These are some extra bits to make it complete. All right, so back to the slides. I think we got a good impression going of what's available. And we can just open it up now for any Q&A if needed. Yeah, here are some examples of other customers already enjoying the benefits of Tracket. And Milieu to Luna, they're very happy with this tool. We got about 400 paying customers, so yeah, we're well established in the marketplace at this point. Let me open it up for you. So is there any questions, Audrun?
I can't see that we have got any questions, actually. So if it's
Right.
no news now, we don't have any questions, actually. Can you just jump to the next slide, please?
Yeah, sure.
No questions. So I think if anyone is eager to test the Tracket solution in your own Monday environment, if you want to talk about it, or if you have some questions after the meeting, this webinar, you are very pleased to book me in a meeting so we can talk about it. So here is my contact information. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else. If you don't have anything else, Lucas, since we don't have any questions.
No, I think it was well, I just want to thank you guys. Thank you for the opportunity to being here together with you organizing this. It was a pleasure. And if any customers also have questions, yes, feel free to reach out to Oddrun. And if you need me at some point, feel free to loop me in. I'd be happy to assist wherever needed.
Fantastic, Lucas. Thank you so much for your presentation. It was super nice.
All right, you're welcome.
Have a nice day, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.